Welcome to Meet the Team Night. And tonight we're going to meet with Remsen St. Mary's girls basketball team first, and then we'll meet with the boys basketball team. This is Jim Westman. I'm Dean Harper. And Coach Scott Willman, we're going to start you off tonight. And I want to ask you, what do you think about the season? Like, how obviously, first time ever in school history that the team's gone 20-0. And, is that kind of something you saw coming into the season?
Well, sure, great possibility because these girls really know how to play basketball well. They came off a season last year with one loss in the regular season, so they're a team that has very much set their goals for the year. Early in the year, we had talked about this. We had talked about winning the War Eagle, but beyond that, there's always been this. It's a deep down desire to make something more happen, and I think they're very focused on seeing where that can go this year.
Building on last year's
Building
success.
on last year, yeah.
Yep.
And, we want to be able to get to state and we want to make something happen to state, but we've got to make all those little things happen along the way to make that happen.
Just to recap of last year, you lost to the eventual state champion in the semifinal game, and they happened to beat a conference rival in the championship, MMCRU.
That was the year before.
That was the year before, 2 years ago. Okay.
2 years ago. Last year was Algona and Garrigan in the semifinals. And then they came on to beat Newell and won the championship.
Oh, that's right, beat Newell, another common foe.
Yeah.
How do you think that experience, will help this team in this tournament run? I believe you start Tuesday night, and your opponent's yet to be determined, correct? Is there a game you get a bye, correct?
We get a bye. We will play the winner of South O'Brien, Boyden Hall, and I would say that's a flip of the coin game. They're both potentially can win that game. They each have different avenues. I know, maybe a weird fact that South O'Brien will be without their head coach during the game. He had a couple of technicals. He won't be coaching for that game. Boyden Hall brings a unique. They bring a Kelderman girl that is a pretty dynamic guard, but as far as potential, I think for a game it could be either way. Then it looks like it could be a West Bend. And then in the district final or the regional final, it would likely be a team like Georgia Little Rock or Akron Westfield. So teams we've seen, teams we've had success with, we have really culminated our play right now. We're playing at a great level. We've just finished a set where we've gone 9 games in 15 days. Throwing 3 practices and 3 weekend days. The girls have handled it with a lot of maturity and class. I didn't know how well you'd handle a stretch like that. I've never been in a situation like that where we've lost so many games because of weather early, and it's all there. And I've been very impressed with the management handling it from the athletes end of it. Now last night we probably saw the least freshness we probably had during that run. So maybe a little crack in it at that particular point. And when was that crack going to come? It came at a great time. We probably weren't as fresh as we've been for throughout that part of it. But wow, what a great run here at this last thing. And our play, coming off the weather, coming off the DC trip, our ability to shoot and score, we're an effective field goal percentage of over 50% now. That's getting the job done. That's second in the state right now. With how well our girls are shooting.
Mm-hmm. So looking forward in the tournament, or actually looking at this team from this year versus last year, what are some of the differences from the 2 years?
I like that question, Dean. There's a lot of depth in our growth. I think there's, again, the maturity level and how we play, but then I think you see the style of play being that we have different levels of what we can do. So instead of coming out and pressing all the time, we have different levels that I think the girls are very secure in. That we have an Iowa press, we have a Colorado press. We can hit teams with different things. If the press isn't what we should be doing against them, we can drop back into perhaps I think the most solid half-court defense in at least 1A, 2A, maybe 3A in the whole state. The girls really get it done and take a lot of pride in that. Right now in 1A, we are 3rd in the state in scoring, averaging 3rd in the state in what we give up. So we're winning by about 36 in average a game, but we're doing it on the defensive end, we're getting it done on the offensive end, and that's hard for teams to counter what the girls are doing with that.
And looking at the projected, tournament here, obviously, besides you guys, who are some of the teams, I think that possibly could be the favorites?
Coach Melissa just showed me some things on that, and the final ranking just came out. And had it set to tune, we would have been playing Garrigan in the first round. As it looks right today, it would be a Martinsdale, St. Mary's, or that. So that's very advantageous to us. Martinsdale might not be as good as going to Garrigan. So it would be a 3-6 matchup that way. Our next matchup would be a New Farna, and the next matchup would be a North Lynn, if everything would play out. And I know these girls have the intent to make everything play out very goal-oriented. We just got to make sure that we hit it every single night. We do the practice as well from now on out. We just do the things that get us to where I know they would like to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck.
Good luck.
Jim, thank you.
You bet. Good luck. We'll be there Tuesday night.
Awesome.
You just go in alphabetical order.
Take the seniors first.
Seniors, come on up.
Whatever seniors. We'll take a couple at a time. Take 2 at a time.
Yeah. We'll have you introduce yourselves first.
I'm Maya Bunkers. I'm Carmody Ricky.
Seniors, obviously. Who are your parents?
Jeremy and Stacy Bunkers.
Brett and Allison Ricky.
Okay, obviously, is this kind of what you guys expected from this season? Being undefeated and looking to possibly go deeper in the tournament run. And, we've had multiple 1,000-point scores, and I know you got to be close to 1,000 points. It's a lot of people back. High expectations. How have you guys taken that pressure?
I'd say we're a lot more confident and stronger this year, so we kind of knew that it was going to be a better season.
Yeah. I think it's helped that we've all played together for so long, and we just know exactly how we're going to do it, and we've just continued to get stronger over the years.
What do you think, like how is this group different than last year's group? Because always, as a coach, every group's a little bit different. I know you have a lot of people back, but I still see this is a little bit different group than last year. How would you guys?
I would say we're more fluent. Like, we trust each other taking it to the hoop every time, and we know each other's consistencies and where they shoot and where they like to drive. So we're more comfortable with each other.
Okay.
And you can see that on the court too.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, that she's going to drive. You're going to drive and put up that teardrop shot, and you're going to hit a 3 or drive and pass off and all that. So it does move a lot quicker, a lot smoother.
What you guys? I'll ask Carmen. Ask you this question. What do you think of your experience last year at the Well?
It was really fun. I liked it. I hope we can go farther. If we make it this year, that'd be awesome. But it was super fun and a great experience.
We had a great tournament run last year. That was fun.
For example, what do you think the keys are for you guys to get back to the Well this year?
Just trusting each other, and our support system is a big part of it, is watching everyone cheer for us. Our people that come to games that aren't even related to us, they're just there to cheer for us. So.
Just keep working hard in practices and through the games. And
that's why you had practice today.
Yeah.
And one final question I'd like to ask you guys, what's something that, you're going to take with you, after obviously you graduate here from Remsen St. Mary's basketball, in your experience here, what's something that your situation or a game or something that you're going to remember?
The memories and the friends you make here.
Okay.
I'd say memories too.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck.
Thanks.
You.
Two more victims.
So you guys can introduce yourselves, and obviously you're seniors, so introduce yourself and who are your parents, please.
I'm Whitney Jensen, and my parents are Jeremy and Melissa Jensen.
And I'm Claire Schrader, and my parents are Russ and Michelle Schrader.
Okay.
Looking back at their 4 years, you've had quite a bit of success in almost all the sports, or all the sports really. You have one more basketball season. you got to play one game at a time now. So your guys looking forward now. What do you have to do to be that, to get down to Wells Fargo?
Keep working hard, definitely, at practice and having a good mindset through everything.
Yeah, our coaches really stress that attitude is everything, so I think we just need to follow that, and we have to realize that this is like our last shot, and we got to play to win. So.
Right, make the most of it.
Like, do you guys ever talk about, like, for example, hey, we got to make sure we stay out of foul trouble and you know, in certain situations. Do you guys ever talk about those things?
More the coaches telling us that we need to do that. But
But do you understand? Do you kind of understand where they're coming from?
yeah.
Yeah. Stay aggressive, but be smart about it then too. Yeah, on top of it.
Right. So, for example, coming into this season, you know, what were some of your goals? You guys' goals?
Making it back down to state.
Okay.
Another one was just being conference champs this year.
Okay.
First time ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you guys realize that this is the only undefeated team? And I think it's one of the first times since maybe Unity Christian, I think someone posted that boys and girls won the
Won
conference.
the conference, yeah, same year.
1997.
Yeah. So it's something that doesn't happen very often.
No.
So it's really a special deal, especially, you know, Unity is a larger school than St. Mary's, so obviously you guys something to really be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your experience last year at the Well, can you tell me, like, for example, what's the difference between playing at the Well versus playing in a sub-state final, for example?
The environment is way different. I feel like just like the court and like all the people there watching, just made it a lot different than here.
Was it tough shooting there because it's deeper or not? Or do you guys
No,
prepare for that?
Once you got used to it, then it was fine. But yeah, just be confident in your shot.
Okay.
Because a lot of times, to me, it looks like you're shooting in a canyon because there's no, you know, background to you. But you have the 3-point line. That's kind of a good marker to go by, and free throw line and whatnot. But hey, you guys did very well last year down there. And can't remember who you played first round.
West Fork.
West Fork, that's right,
Mhm.
Sheffield. Yep. Future plans?
Make it back down to state.
I mean, after high school. That's all right.
Like for college?
Yes, college.
Basketball.
At
DMAC.
DMAC, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to BVU, Storm League, and then run track.
Run track, good. Good.
All right. Well, good luck, girls.
Yes.
We'll see you in the postseason.
See you Tuesday.
Thank you.
Hi, girls.
Hello.
Why don't you introduce yourselves and your parents?
Hallie Gallus. My parents are Barry and Melissa Gallus.
I'm JC Homan, and my parents are Luke and Beth Homan.
Okay. One of the things I saw, I believe you were academic all-state.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
What's your GPA then?
4.0.
4.0.
Good.
Okay, so both of you coming into the season, obviously, what was your expectations? Is it to get back to the Well, or?
Yeah, it's our last year, so we've all had the dream since third grade to get down to state and hopefully win a championship. So this year is our year to do it.
Yeah, I think we've always had the expectation to go back to state and finish what we started down there last year.
Do you think it's tougher to get back down there after your first year? Is it an easy situation, or what? What do you think?
I think it's the same, but I think this year we want it more because we didn't get our goal last year. So I think this year it's going to be harder just because we wanted that more than we wanted it last
You
year.
had a taste of it
Yeah,
last year.
yeah, we want more this year.
Yeah.
So.
And looking back at your high school careers, I mean, softball, basketball, volleyball, even track, well, especially track then too. You've had good success in that. And it's not really individual sports, even though there's individual parts of that. But you think about your teammates that you've had throughout the 4 or 5 years in softball and so on. What memories will you take back from that?
I just think we all love to compete, and it's extremely fun to compete with other people, especially in the same sports over and over. So just always having the same teammates and then being able to use them in the rest of life as like supporters.
Yeah, we make memories with these teammates every year, so we're really close with each other. Is what I think I'll take from
Yeah, you're
Ellis.
pretty tight knit group. I think that works with team chemistry too. Like Carmody and Maya were talking about that. Where your guys are on the court, and you work well together. So, and future plans for you guys?
PCI in Ames. It's a cosmetology school.
PCI.
I'm going to Drake.
Great. Okay.
So, basically, I want to ask you guys. So, as far as the years have gone by, what are some things that you take maybe a memory from your coaches, like situations that you remember from your coaches, or
The good memories.
yeah, what would be some of the something that you take away from that?
Just to have confidence and work hard with everything. Don't be embarrassed when you airball. Keep shooting.
Yeah, just that they're always there supporting us and telling us to stay confident in ourselves. Because they're confident in us.
Want you to get better. That's sometimes when they get on you a little bit, they want you to get better. So,
And how do you think this group compares to last year? What's the difference?
I just think that this year we really want it, so we're all doing everything we can, and we're just pushing ourselves really hard to get to the end goal.
Yeah, we've been there before, so we know what we want this year, and it's our last time, so
very good.
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Now we got some juniors.
One junior.
Got the tall girls now. Why don't you introduce yourselves and your parents?
Any grade.
Any grade.
I'm Grace Gallus. I'm a sophomore, and my parents are Bart and Kelly Gallus.
I'm Tessa Tenneger. I'm a junior, and my parents are Chad and Susan Tenneger.
Right. So I'm gonna start off first with you. Last year you had the ending knee injury. How you have recovered from that, and what do you how do you think you've responded since that injury?
I mean, it's been super mentally challenging to
Right.
come back and not be scared to do anything. But practices have gone actually a lot better. Games have gone a lot better since I thought. But it's not. I mean, it's not bad, but still got to build my quad muscle back. Yeah.
Right.
Do you think you favor it yet or not?
I mean, not really, but I still get scared to go into rebounds.
100%. Or yeah, all out. Yeah.
So also, Grace, your role's kind of expanded a little bit. You played a little bit last year. Obviously, next year you guys are going to have to be the core of next year's team. Have you thought about that at all? Besides obviously finishing out this year, have you guys thought about anything like that?
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of rebuilding next year. It'll be fun.
Right.
The seniors have definitely set a standard that it's going to be hard to fill, but with them to help us grow into it, I think it'll be a different transition, but it'll be a good one.
Right. And as far as this year, what's different, do you think, from this year's team than from last year's team? Both of you, played on.
I think we're a lot more confident, and that we still we're more together. We trust each other a lot, and
Yeah, I feel like just playing together, we just work a lot better together from the time we've had.
And with you guys getting a year older, I think you have more depth on the team than two this year.
Yeah.
Rebounding
Oh, yeah.
and whatnot, scoring also. So that's a key factor then too. You're older and you're smarter.
Yeah.
Any memories from this last year? Games that you remember or anything that would stick out for you?
Our first game back.
First game, I definitely would. Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah, I think it was fun getting to celebrate our teammates, getting 1,000 points and all 10 leading score. That stuff, doesn't happen a lot, so that's cool to be a part of.
Right.
And then 2 and maybe 3
Yeah.
this year. That's pretty special.
Yeah.
Now I know you got to go on the court in the well. Are you looking forward to getting to play on the court if you get there?
I
Obviously,
am.
you get there.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Right. Definitely.
Crowd noise and everything. That is fun.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, girls.
Thank
Yep,
you.
thank you guys.
The 2 youngins.
Yep.
Introduce yourselves and your parents.
I'm a freshman. I'm Hallie Bunkers, and my parents are Stacy and Jeremy Bunkers.
I'm Ian Mackin. I'm a freshman, and my parents are Michael and Kristen Mackin.
Okay, so it's your first year, on this team here at Remsen St. Mary's, one of the top teams in the state. So far, both of you, what are your experiences? What do you, obviously, we don't have a JV program right now. So how does that affect you guys?
It's a big transition from last year. Like this year, I can lean on my teammates. Like I always know that if I'm not fully there for a game, like I'm having a bad game, I can always lean on them and know that they're doing their best too.
Yeah, I think it's also a big transition because we're not used to playing this high up level since there's no JV, and I love playing with this team.
Do you find it's a lot more physical?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot more physical. Obviously, even for yourself, you're getting some minutes as well, and it seemed like it kind of took you a little while to get used to the pace of the game. The pace of the game, do you think is faster?
Yes, definitely. Especially the way we play, because we're always go, 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 and just, yeah.
A little bit different than 8th grade.
Yes, definitely.
Well, this will be valuable for you guys, though, playing minutes this year, and then next year, you're going to build a little bit, but you'll have a good nucleus to build on then, too.
Right. I mean, it's going to be some heavy minutes definitely next year. And obviously, looking down the road here, the goal is to get to the well. I mean, are you guys looking forward to possibly getting to play on that court this year?
Yes, it's so much fun playing with these girls and getting to that next level. I feel would just be a dream come true.
Yeah. Okay. Experience this year. What are some of the things that you remember about a game or something there this year?
Same going along with them is just cheering on the girls when they get their 1,000 points, and I just remember beginning of the season I'm so nervous around the senior girls because they're so intimidating, but now they're my best friends.
Okay.
Even your sister?
Yes.
Yeah, also rooting on everyone who gets 1,000 points and learning from all the seniors because they won't be here next year. It's going to be a big role to take on.
Right. Well, I think that's it.
That's good.
Well, thanks, girls.
Thank
you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll be back with the boys. Okay, we're back with the boys' version of Meet the Team Night, and we have the three Remsen St. Mary's coaches here: Scott Rudin, Justin Rudin, and Jared Shutt. And I'll let whoever wants to start here. You know, kind of how did you see this season unfold here? I think you won the conference. Obviously, you're I think was it 16-3,
Yep.
and just kind of how you guys felt that the season unfolded here.
Well, I thought we ended up maybe a little better than my expectations at 16-3 and at winning the conference. I knew we had a new group coming in, and it would be a challenge, and it has been a challenge. But the boys are growing rapidly and have come a long ways, and so I'm excited where we're at now. We've made a ton of mistakes on the way here, but that's all about it, and it's getting better and better. So I'm excited where we ended up, and I'm really excited for the boys to win the War Eagle.
Yep, same with them. I think we knew these guys coming in, what they were capable of. Still know what they're capable of, and I don't think we've seen our full of that yet. What we expect from them every night, but it's a good time to get it going. We started playing our best basketball towards the end of the season, and yeah, room for growth, room for improvement always, and we're going to demand that out of them. But they're going to give us everything they got every night, so that's always a nice team to coach.
Yeah, and going last, I mean, it's hard to come up with something different to say. But yeah, my expectation coming into the season, you can see we had talent. We had guys that played a little bit last year, but just not extended minutes. So it was going to take a while for us to build those shared experiences and learn how to play with each other. When you talk about winning the War Eagle Conference, you look at our conference and how it ended up shaking out. The top half, 3/4 of our conference, I mean, everybody could beat anybody on any given night. So I think it's pretty special, especially over the last 2-week period where we played almost every single night of the week without a practice in between, to be able to manage that schedule, come out with some really gutsy wins against a good MMCRU and a good Akron team last week, and then last night pull it out against Trinity. I'm definitely proud of the guys for the way that they finished the season here.
And the amount of teams that returned, like everybody, towards that top, and then yet here we are with only a couple returning starters or whatever it might be, and we're the ones that are kind of finishing up there too. It says a lot for the guys and the young guys and how much they listened and learned along the way.
Looking at the tournament postseason here, you know, what do you think about your draw and how things are going to shake out? Possibility of playing 2 home games, right?
Right. Yes.
Probably start out with
Yep.
probably Tulane Christian.
Yep. Yeah, we kind of plan on Tulane Christian. First two games at home, which is a luxury. It's awesome to get that 1 seed and get that luxury. I think it's a tough bracket, but you got to play the best to be the best. You get down to Des Moines, and they're all good. So we gotta fight game by game. You know, every team we're going to play is going to be a little different. The good part is we get a couple of days to scout and a couple of days to prepare, which is huge for these young guys. And I'm excited. I think we can make our goal and get back to state. That's going to be definitely a challenge. But no matter how far we make it or what we do, as long as they grow, because most of them are coming back next year, and I think it's huge the deeper we get in or get to state tournament for next year even. So I'm excited.
Nothing really new for us either. Like it seems like every year we have to go through War Eagle again, and there might be a chance for some new teams in there, but some opponents that we know real well, and kind of makes, like I think you joked on it, it makes it easier for the scouting purposes because we don't have to write up too much. I have it all written down anyway, so a little easier on our part. But know the teams well, and it's like I said, a tough district, but that's what you expect when you get to this time of year.
Yeah, 7 years. Trying to get to 8 years, how do you have your kids absorb that kind of pressure, trying to make it 8 years in a row, and what is different about this team than last year's team with senior Latin, four senior starters?
Yeah, it is. I don't know if it's a little pressure. I hope it's not pressure. They got that goal. These guys have the same goal to get to state like the last 7 teams have. It's not easy. Sometimes it looks easier than what it was. And sometimes I'm yelling about, oh my gosh, these guys can't hit the broadside of the barn, and then we go back and watch film, and some of the teams we went to stay with couldn't hit the broadside of the barn in games too. So I think the difference from last year is we had a lot of captains, a lot of knowledge about the game, been there. They're seniors. There's something to say about a senior versus a junior. This year we have 3 seniors and 1 redshirt senior, but we don't have that experience yet, but they're going to get it. And that's why I like them big games they had this year. We had some close games, some tight games, an overtime game that probably shouldn't have been, but it was good for us. And getting beat by West Sioux, or West Line, excuse me, was good for us. We learned a lot with a really talented team. So I'm hoping that rubs off into the tournament this year.
I think it's something that kind of we established here at St. Mary's, and these guys are part of it. Like they've been a part of all these years going to state, but big games and pressure, so however you handle it or however you take it, and pressure can be good for you. It gets the most out of you. And it's just like some stress. There's good stress, there's bad stress, and this is good stress for us. It's demanding us to practice hard like they did today, and demanding us to get the most out of every practice that we have, every game, giving everything you got. And once you do that, and you're the team that's capable of doing that and using that pressure in the right instance, then you're capable of attaining the goal that they have set out now.
Defensively, what do you think this team, hangs their hat on? Usually that's kind of what I've always thought. St. Mary's hangs their hat on defense.
Yeah.
And this group, a little bit different defensively than your previous groups, or?
Yeah, we talked about this. We talked about what St. Mary's program is and what it means and what our culture means. And defense is one of our programs. We pride ourselves on defense. And we got a little different hand dealt to us, a little different body size, a little different kids, and so probably been playing more zone this year than we have in the past. But we're as coaches feeling them out, what they can do best, and then we're kind of trying to take and put them in the right positions defensively. But I think our defense is still pretty good. I know we're playing a little bit more zone. I don't know exactly the number of points we're letting up, but I think it's still decent, and we're going to hang around.
Looking at last night's game, we thought the zone. I think they scored 4 points in one quarter.
Yeah.
We thought really frustrated them. We had a number of tip balls and for
Eagles. Yeah. And on some nights, our zones looks like our best defense, and I guess we'll use whatever works that night.
I mean, do you think the key, obviously, to the tournament is defense, and also maybe like staying out of foul trouble because you're not as deep as you have been in the past? Things like that. Are those some of the keys? Or obviously shooting the ball well. Everybody wants to shoot the ball well. But
we talk about all the time. You can have a game where you don't shoot well. I understand as a coach. You can have a game of I don't know. You just don't play that well. I understand that. But defensively, there's no excuse. You can play defense any night, and the boys know that. It just takes heart, effort, and smart. And you can do that any night. If you can't make shots, come in and play defense for us, you get to play. And I think you're right. Defense is a key for us. I think not turning the ball over is a key for us young guys. And then, foul trouble. We had a conversation last night about foul trouble. But, we got to stay out of foul trouble. And it's just a matter of play smart, play defense, and don't turn the ball over, and we can stay with anybody.
Yeah, and I think you'll say the same. Go ahead.
No.
I think you'll say the same, but it's like you watch these. How many times we've gone down a tournament and it's always been, averaging like 80 points or whatever every game. Well, then once you get to those games, it's half of that. Yep. And it's like you talked about, like the pressure. Every kid is a high school kid feeling pressure of a big game. So whether that be the sub-state, whatever, everything's a little bit more tentative, and our pace all of a sudden, which everybody knacks on our pace, but our pace all of a sudden comes into play big. And like that's how the game flows. And so we're used to it. We're comfortable with it. And I think that's a big advantage for us. And like I said, hanging the hat on defense, we gripe sometimes that we're not as good defensively, yet we're in the top 10 defensively on points allowed, and really a good conference. And but that's what we do. That's the purpose of us as coaches, is to get the best out of them. We expect more out of them, and get to the defense where it can really help us accomplish goals.
Well, what do you think this group has from the start to now, their improvement? And I see them, for example, not getting sped up anymore, like they, and able to, St. Mary's always able to win a grind game. And I think, obviously, to get to the state tournament, I think you guys probably, I don't care, the district final or the sub-state final, you get in those grind games. We've been there before. What do you guys think about that?
I agree.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think as the year's gone on, and we still talk to our boys about this a lot, but just understanding our opponent, understanding what their strengths and their weaknesses are. At the beginning of the year, we were so focused on growing ourselves as a team, it was hard to focus on our opponent and what they were doing. Now we've learned ourselves, we learned how to play with each other. So now we can break down a scouting report and say, hey, this is what we're trying to take away from this guy, this is what we're trying to take away from this guy. And going down the tournament trail, that there's going to be those studs that hey, this guy changes the basketball game. We have to take this away from him. And I think we've gotten to that point where mentally we can do that. I think that'll be a big advantage for us going forward.
And for you guys, last I noticed, you guys really shared the basketball. The last few games, you guys been sharing the basketball, and that's, to me, that's huge, because then it's a little bit tougher to key on one or two guys, and especially when the basketball's being shared.
Yep. Yeah.
Tough to scout. I know, like we do our scouting. Whenever you see that thing just spread around, or people shooting well, and then you got the inside, it's like kind of talking. It's like a boxing match. It's like you hit them with a 1-2 punch. You hit it inside, and then it's outside. Defenses and scrambles. Doesn't matter what you run against us. It could be junk. It could be zone. If we're doing that, I mean, that's a pity whoever has to put that together, scouting report, to try to take away things. But that's what they're capable of, and we're starting to see it at the end of the season.
That's so you can see the growth real obvious, because at the beginning of the year, Holman got to see 3 defenders every game, and now he's seeing 1, maybe 2, because they got to respect the rest of the players, and that's huge for us. So we have 4 guys, 5 guys score in a game. It makes us pretty tough.
Yeah, very balanced scoring last night,
Yes.
all the way up and down. And my point would be that, okay, 7 years in a row that you've been down there, these guys, even if they're young, they experience that part of being down there. So I think it comes natural that they are comfortable in those big games, sub-state, district finals, it doesn't matter, even down at state.
I agree. They've been part of the atmosphere somehow or some shape often, even not only in basketball, baseball, football. So yeah, I think that helps big. I agree.
Yeah, no moment too big, too small. Kind of say that sometimes too. It's like you've experienced everything, and what like some kids would dream to experience once in their life, and experienced in all different phases. And that comes handy, and it's going to be coming handy for us again. And it's experience that you can't replicate, even if you're just sitting there on the bench observing it. Not many get to. So it plays in our favor, and hopefully it does this year too.
Yep. I think just the preparation factor too. We know what the schedule is going forward. We know if we win this game, this is how we're going to approach the next game. And if we go to this gym, we've been to this gym before, and they all know that stuff. Like last year, we got to go to Sioux Center for the second time. The first time it was a wow factor. I mean, holy smokes, that's a beautiful gym. And last year it was, hey, we're at Sioux Center's gym. And we've been lucky to play in a lot of different places, and these guys have been there too. Depending on where we go, I mean, we've had that experience, and it just helps you with that mental preparation part too, when you visualize yourself doing good things on a court that you played on.
And like we've always talked about too, in baseball, basketball, football, doesn't matter, step by step. You take one game at a time, you advance. You take one game, you advance. And that's the way you have to approach it.
Yep.
Yep, you have 7 right now. 7 is your number, and that's where you're knocking one out at this time. That's your goal.
Well, good luck, guys.
Thank you. Thanks.
See you Monday night.
Yeah, see you Monday night.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Oh, no, we have 3 seniors.
Yeah, we'll take 3 seniors.
You must be the red shirt. Okay, what we're going to have you do is look in the camera. You're going to introduce yourselves and tell who your parents are. Go ahead, Ty.
My name's Ty Tritz. My parents are Heidi and Clint Tritz.
I'm Cole Holman, Matt and Jamie Holman.
Hunter Pick. My mom is Julie Corona, and my dad's Todd Pick.
All right, so you guys, senior year, obviously last year coming off of losing a bunch of seniors. And, I know for some of you guys, all 3 of you play baseball, we talk about roles. And for Ty, this is your first year. First year, like what's your experience? Obviously, coming from your first year of playing basketball here at St. Mary's.
I don't know. I played 8th grade year, I think. After that, I did wrestling. So I'm just here to really get them worked in, like bigger, stronger down there.
And how'd you enjoy that experience? I mean, obviously, the physicality. I'm sure you enjoyed that a little bit.
I'm loving every second.
Cole, then for yourself, obviously an injury early in the season. Do you have to have surgery? Are you getting surgery, or
I had it a couple weeks ago.
We had a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Okay. So, for example, like obviously it's a disappointment for you, but you know, getting even to go back possibly to the well your senior years? You know, are you looking forward to possibly accomplishing that goal?
Yeah, I am. It's been nice to see all these younger kids or guys improve throughout the year. I've been watching them, so just try to come in with a positive attitude and help whenever I can.
Right. And Hunter, obviously you played last year some, and this year obviously your role has also been expanded from last year. What do you see yourself, and how is this team different than last year's team? What would you say?
I like this team a little bit more because we work together as a team. We don't just have it with us. Like, we actually have to work for what we're going for. And last year's team, I felt like it was a little easier than it is this year's team. That's why this year's a little better.
Okay. And then, like, anything in the season, like your experiences in the season, like what would you guys say about this year that that's something that stands out with the season or with the game or with something like that? Something that you obviously from the start, we talked about the coaches from the start to now, this group has changed. What would you guys say? What's something that you could put your finger on that's changed?
We've been playing as a team a lot better. Everyone's been contributing.
Okay. Anyone else got anything to pick out from that? Or?
Conference champs got to be real nice.
Yeah. First time girls and boys ever at our school have been conference champs. I think it was Unity Christian. Last team do it in 90-something.
98, 97.
Yeah, 98, 97.
It was nice knowing that there was teams in the War Eagle Conference that was doubting us and saying how Remsen St. Mary's is going to be at the bottom. They're on the downfall of what they have been the past couple of years. So I was glad. It was good knowing that we came back and just took the War Eagle back, and now we are proving to teams what we really are and how much we've gotten better.
Right. And what do you think that is? Is that a mindset, you think? That, we're able to stay at that high level? This is possibly the 8th year in a row.
I like what our coaches tell us every day. It's just a culture we have at Remsen St. Mary's. It's just what we do. It's the brotherhood we have. It's the work ethic we have, and everything we do is we do it together. We don't do it for ourselves.
Future plans next year?
I'm going to ISU engineering.
There you go.
I'm going to Kirkwood for egg science.
Egg science.
Probably DMAC for power equipment technology.
Okay. Well, good luck to you, and see you Monday night.
Yes. Good luck, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You take juniors. Two at a time.
2 at a time.
Yeah, we'll go 2 at a time.
How many juniors do we have? Just 3?
No, we got more than 3. We got more than 6.
6.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you lead us off, Landon?
I'm Landon Walshman. My parents are Rick and Angie.
I'm Sam Schmel, Kyle and Jill Schmel.
Okay, so obviously this year, both of you last year you played a little bit and you got an injury. So first, I'm gonna start with you, Sam. Like, for example, what's the difference this experience this year versus last year? Obviously, you're healthy.
Yep.
We've had a few nicks, but for example, what do you notice about playing full time in varsity basketball versus last year you were injured, but you did play a little bit. What's that difference?
I think last year I was trying to figure out the role and just how the tempo of the game is, because it's a lot faster, varsity is, than even JV. So just kind of getting the feel for that. And when I got hurt, obviously I wasn't able to play, but I was able to see from the coach's view and see everything and how things opened up. I think that helps me on the court this year, knowing where all the openings are and how to do this or do that to get myself open or help my teammates get open. Put the ball in the hoop, and on the defensive end too, knowing where your body position needs to be.
Landon, for yourself, obviously your role has expanded this year. Last year there was an injury and you played against, I think, Western and some of those other teams. You played against a pretty stiff competition. But again, what do you think of your role this year?
Obviously it's bigger than last year, and starting last year I wasn't as confident with it, and this year I had to be more confident. I knew I had to take on a bigger role. Couldn't just be the guy that sits back and lets my teammates do the thing. I had to initiate stuff for my teammates, and I had to I take a bigger role.
Yeah, because you kind of had to run the offense right from the beginning. And you had to replace Colin, Alex Schrader. I get them all mixed up, and he did a nice job. And you've kind of grown into that role then too for for us this year. So it's good to see.
How do you guys, both of you, like, what's one thing you can put your finger on that this team has really improved on this area, or something, a situation, something that happened that, from the start of the season to right now? Obviously, War Eagle Conference champs. What do you think?
I think at the beginning of the season, we were still trying to figure out how to play with each other, and I thought that Galen game, we really had a really good start going into the winter break, and then we obviously had all the snow days, so it's like, dang, you're starting over. But I think when we had that 9 or 6 game stretch, whatever it was, I think our offensive flow and knowing where other teammates are going to be and what they're going to do so we can react to that, I think got really good. I think we were really flowing.
I mean, just our energy and our team chemistry. I mean, at the beginning of the year, I haven't played with Colin in 2 years, and I've been playing with some of the rest of the guys, but none of us have really played together since like 8th grade. So just getting to know each other, getting the feel back for everybody. I think we've got that back. And defensively, I think our coaches preach communication, and obviously we lacked that. I think we're starting to bring the energy up defensively, and we're starting to bring our communication. And now we just kind of know sometimes where everybody's going to be, and it helps when we don't communicate the best, but because we know, hey, my teammate's going to be here when I do this, but obviously communication still helps a ton.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Keaton, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Teen Harpendon. My parents are Lee and Kara.
My name is Colin Holman. I'm parents of Jeremy and Katrina Holman.
Okay, Colin, you're the only returning starter from last year. Obviously, I just kind of want to know, what was your mind coming in, being the only returning starter, and what could you tell even all these guys? You played at the well there, and a few guys also came off the bench and played, but what would it mean to get back to the well for the 8th year in a row? And
It just show how much. It would show other people how hard we've worked to become the team we are now, from start to finish. And I know what all these other younger guys are capable of coming into this from when we were playing younger. I know that they could fill the roles in the previous year.
Keaton, your role coming in this year, obviously you're going to have to taking some expanded, started with football, basketball, baseball, expanded role here. What's your feelings of, what's the difference coming from JV to varsity, playing at that level?
It's a lot faster for sure, but that's you just got to adapt to that. And we have our teammates like Holman. He's always there to just update you on the game and what things we can do better.
I think you guys have a nice balance of, of course, last year was senior dominated, plus you. But then you had all that experience, you brought that, and now you're kind of helping all the younger guys then along with it then too. You also have some guys that played some minutes last year too, but it always helps to have that guy, one guy that they can rely on all season long.
What do you guys, for example, down the road here, in the tournament run, what's one thing you think that you really guys need to focus on to be successful game in and game out? What are some things that you really need to focus on?
Mental preparation, I'd say, is a big factor for us. You can tell, even pregame or in the game, that when we're locked in. When we play good, it's because we're mentally prepared, and when we don't play good, it's because we're not mentally there.
I think consistency is a main part of our game this year. We've been up and down, and coming on the road ahead, I think consistency with coming ready to play, having the mindset, knowing that you're going to make every shot and knowing the shot's coming.
I think one thing that has improved is the defensive intensity throughout the season, starting from what was the first game, South of Bryan or whatever, and increased until even last night. It really showed the defense increase.
What do you think down, for example, would you guys feel would be something that you think that this year's group, that you didn't expect them your group to accomplish this year, but they really came through? with having only one guy back?
I knew that coming into this season, other teams returned a lot of people, and that could maybe mess with their mind a little bit, see like how we compete against them. But I think we've shown the conference what we're all about, and I don't think anybody really expected us to come out on top of the War Eagle, but we showed everybody what we were really capable of as a team.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Dane, why don't you start it off?
My name is Dan Logs. My parents are Mitch and Amy Logs.
I'm Carter Tenniger. My parents are Chad and Susan Tenniger.
All right, Dan, I'm going to start with you. Obviously, you came from Cherokee. What's your experience here? What do you think, if someone said, hey, what's the difference? How come St. Mary's versus Cherokee? What are some things that you could put your finger on and say, hey, yeah, this is something different?
The culture, for sure. I mean, you walk into practice here, and the intensity level's high, the expectations are high. I mean, coaches get on you because they love you and they want you to be great at what you do. I mean, the culture with all the guys, we're a team, we're together, and we all want to do great. So, not worried about stats. It's always about one stat, that's the win.
And Carter, I'm going to ask you this. I mean, recently, you've been shooting the ball pretty well. What brought that switch? What do you think that switch? Because you've been, and actually fairly consistent. Even the other night, you missed your first couple, but then second half you hit like 3 in a row. There, 3 out of 4, and 2 threes. So, what do you think? What's kind of basically moved that?
I'm not really sure, but after that South O'Brien game, I had a really bad game, and I can't play like that to win. We can't win if I don't play that well. I got to play well as a team. And then coming into Galen, the coaches kind of said, we need some more guys to step up. And I took the challenge, I guess, step up, and then consistency, they always talk about it. So I guess I finally hit that point.
Right.
And it seems like you have more confidence right now, too, when you're shooting the ball. And it's the same thing with Dean. And us just talking upstairs, we think that you guys pass up too many open shots, but that's part of the offense then, too. You want to work the ball around, but coming from outside shooters, I guess, is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, coming into the season for both of you, what were your expectations? Do you guys, just thinking back to the start of the season, to where we're at now, have things changed even somewhat with yourselves as well?
For sure. At the start of the season, I wasn't comfortable with my shot. Everything felt off, and I got to work with the coaches and BJ. Everything's a rhythm, and I got to figure it out, so my shots come a long ways. And especially with the team, too, the chemistry, that was, at the start of the season, we were a little rough, and we had, from what it sounded like, we had not very high expectations for our team, but I feel like we've shown ourselves, for sure.
At the start of the season, I really wasn't sure what my role would be on this team. Then as we progressed, I think I kind of found my role. I went from 6-man to starting every once in a while to now starting full-time to just bring energy and hit shots, play defense.
Right. You spoke about defense. Do you guys notice that the defense has improved as the season has gone on?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Also, what do you think, obviously, teams, they seem to zone you guys a lot. What do you think? Obviously, do you think that's just because of our size, or what do you guys think about this?
I'd say Holman for sure. Just knowing Holman from last year was only a returning starter, their key was probably take him away. Then they play zone. That's lights in my eyes.
Right. And then what's your guys' role in that when they do play zone? Because obviously you're probably going to see some more zone as the postseason comes along here. How do you guys work on attacking them in that situation to get easier baskets?
For sure, know when to cut and get open, make a cut to get someone else open. Drop and the ball goes somewhere else. You just got to be in the right spot for your teammate, to help your teammate out. Even if it's not to help you out, it's to help your teammate get open or just any way to help the team.
And look inside. If they're there, hit them. And if they're guarded, it's your turn to shoot.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Brady Klein.
Brady.
Parents are Judy and Mickey.
Kate Henniger. My parents are Jess and Todd.
All right, so obviously the start of this season, your roles in the season going on, and you guys have played a lot of JV, played a little bit of varsity, a little bit of varsity for yourself as well. But how are you guys growing? Not like they were talking about not playing with each other all the time. How does that help you, do you think, moving forward, by not always playing with your same class as you guys grew up and played with your class? What's the difference in that?
You know, just getting to know everybody else on the team, and obviously with the JV players, playing with all the freshmen and sophomores, gets to know them better and what their tendencies are. Then whenever you get into the varsity game, you can learn everybody else on the team.
Yeah, I said it also helps me because I can learn how to play with other people, other play styles, create my own shot, and just learn more stuff about me as a player in general.
Right, and you know, for yourself, you know, what do you think your strength is on you know, for the team?
I'd say probably bringing energy to all the games and getting everybody else hyped up when we're in the locker room and trying just to bring all the energy.
Yeah, once in a while I noticed they use even on the varsity level as a lockdown, as a defensive guy. Have you noticed that, or
yeah?
Do you like that role, or?
Yeah, I'd say more than most times I'm more of a defensive guy than an offensive guy. So whenever I get in, they try and put me on the defensive side. Then if there's like a foul or a timeout, they'll sub another person in, and we'll just rotate that.
And then for yourself, notice obviously they're allowing you and making you run the offense in the JVs. You know, obviously preparing you, you know, for a point guard situation. You know, do you like that role?
Yeah, I like finding people for open shots. Sometimes like just driving in, kicking out, getting an open shot ready, and trying to put it as best pass as possible, getting the hands and let other people shoot.
Yeah, with you, Jeremy, I think your you got Jeremy on the line. Your breakout game was that George Little Rock game up there. You gave some very high quality minutes up there on defense, and I think you had a diving save on a loose ball and got that, and then you locked down a couple guys while the minutes that you were in there. And we've been watching you on JV then too, and again, it's building for the future then too. And like you said, playing with different levels of guys, some younger, some older, it all pays off.
Okay.
All right.
Good luck. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just have all three of them come
Yep.
up. You guys all three come up.
Got the young ones. Started off.
My name is Elijah Schrader, and my parents are Russ and Michelle.
My name is Aiden Homan, and my parents are Luke and Beth Homan.
My parents are, I'm Sam Garrett. My parents are Todd and Lori.
All right, guys. So, has your experience been here? As, you know, playing. Now you're obviously suiting up for varsity, but playing even in JV level. And what have you learned as coming from the junior high level up to the high school level? Some of the things that you've improved on this past year. I've seen a few of your games, and I mean, I obviously the only maybe Sam. I haven't seen a lot of 8th grade games last year, but I saw a lot of games from last year, and definitely I've seen some improvement from you guys. So, what's your own perception of that?
Well, I guess I feel like I've been slowly improving my offense and my intelligence on it, and when to drive the ball. Some games I forget to drive the ball, but I feel like I've been growing on that a little bit.
A little bit stronger too. I noticed from last year. Obviously, I can tell that as well.
Mostly building my confidence on JV and knowing when to shoot and when to pass, and being able to play off my teammates, make plays for others.
Okay.
Well, for me, it's been learning most of the plays and how JV would work and all that, and it would help me get better for next year.
And that's, I think, one of the things that Dean stressed too is you guys are going to get stronger as it goes along. You know, you're going to grow into those bodies and all that. You got good frames to work with. You just have to improve on that then too. My question, biggest thing, well, it's been a few years removed, but what's the difference between 8th grade or junior high basketball and high school basketball, even JV level?
I would say it's a lot more physical and feels a lot more serious. in my opinion.
And it's just a lot faster, and people are more aggressive on defense and offense.
It's like a bit faster and more physical, and the practices are a little more intense.
Right. So, what do you guys, your role obviously in the postseason is going to be that, run that scout team, and, that's pretty important because obviously you got to get them ready, right? So, I mean, obviously, you're still, it's not like you can't just take a day off. So, obviously you guys looking for the postseason. What do you guys expect in the postseason?
I plan on just to grow and allow the varsity to grow too, and allow them to get better for their games coming up.
Yeah, just have to work hard every practice on scout team and make sure the varsity's ready for all the upcoming games.
I would learn the defense for the other team and how my role would help for the varsity.
Right. Good. All right.
Thanks
guys.
Thank you.
And that ends our boys segment of Meet the Team Night. Good night.